Well, hello, and welcome. This is Jolene with Jewel Design, and we are back. So I didn't quite turn off the camera and turn it right back on. It is still the same day. I recorded, of course, Tuesday evening's video. Woohoo on that one. But it isn't, for this lovely Thursday evening, it did take me a few hours to get back with the kids and everything else we were doing and dinner. So I thought, you know what, why not spend an evening with you guys? Literally, I'm filming it in the early evening. You get to see this in the early evening. And we're going to continue on with our stackable, what did I call this? Stackable Accordion Ephemera piece. And we are using coin purses of 3 sizes, 2 glassine bags in 2 sizes, and a small itty bitty lunch bag, for little treats, like a treat bag you would use, all on top of a decorative lunch bag. And I have it right now placed on a piece of paper because as we go along, I want to make sure everything I do sort of stays within the confines of the page. Now this is, I cut off the whites, so if you print your papers fit to print, you may get a little bit more of a white border, so you have a little less paper space or print space. I think on this one I might have gone print to edge, like that actual size, so give me a thinner white border around the page when it printed. This one didn't seem to have a lot on it, so I'll make sure that when I do this, that it definitely doesn't really encroach on here, and if it happens to stick out a little bit on this side, it makes it more of an outer tag, yummy textured feel. So I do want to make sure that when we're working on it, that we are staying within the confines of the most part of the page, journal page you could be putting it on. And, it's not going to so sorely stick outside the, journal. A little is one thing, but we want too much. So hopefully you had a chance to step back, if you haven't, and watch Tuesday night's video where we put this together, what I was using, how I'm putting it together. You'll get a feel for what we're using as we go along, but I didn't want to move this too much. I have a feeling I'm going to be taking it up carefully to the side, and we're going to slowly try to slide things out and put it back in place. If you watch me a lot, you know I get things exactly where I want them, and then I have a hard time putting them back where I want them because I have to pull it apart to do so. So, but I will put a link. Which way to do this? Maybe I'll put it up here right now, in this top corner, which I don't find. There's usually, you can put a little color tab up here. YouTube will allow us to, and you can backtrack if you wanted to a specific video, and then you can always come back and watch this. So if you're curious what this is, you didn't catch up on Tuesday, I'm going to put it right here, right now. I'm going to put it right here at this 2-minute and 47-second ordeal, and you can click on that, go watch the video of how we got this started, and then you can come back here and finish your evening with me as we work on this one. Today is getting it attached together, getting our tabs and areas decorated up so we finish off our look. And then hopefully we'll start putting on some lace and bling and little things like that. Let's cross our fingers. But the front cover, this little guy here, probably will be a short that it will be up on tomorrow night or tomorrow afternoon, maybe, if all goes well. I don't know if we'll get this far. I'm really sorry. The last video was 1 hour and 6 minutes. It took forever to upload too. So, all right. So here's where we're starting. I'm going to keep this together the best I can. This is what we're using. I think we're going to go for the slightly wider double-sided sticky tape for our accordion sticky concept. I don't think the little one. I'm almost wondering if we need to go bigger. I think as we get to the smaller ones, this is plenty, but I'm wondering if our first couple big ones, we need even wider than this. Because we definitely don't want it to feel like it's going to pop off. Like I'm wondering this to that page, and even this one to this, but the rest I think we could go with the thinner one. All right, double-sided sticky tape is a great way to give you an accordion look or feel without using a bunch of glue. So that is something else we have to keep in mind. My stack over here, way over here, is full of laces and stuff for later. As you can see, I have some butterflies that may be beneficial for everything else. So, okay, so we're going to sort of work our way to the top, starting off at the bottom. I don't know where to put this and not get it all messed up. Oh, God. Let's see if we can do this. Okay. So, what we're starting off with, in case you missed it real quick, yes, if you don't want to go back, is a decorative lunch bag that I folded, distressed, inked up, and glued where I want to, because when on the back side of this lovely ordeal on the next page, you would just glue this and this down to the page, and you'd have a built-in pocket, and this will be one of the last things we decorate probably. Once I have all my scraps used up, we will make a nice little belly band type decor piece here to pull everything on this side over to the other side. But on this side, as you can see, the goal would be, and what we'll probably do is just put a single-sided, is to glue with the double-sided sticky tape this back side, right here, up the side, onto the page in question that you want to put it on. So that you can open this, as if it's attached, right, and pull, like, folded documents or whatever out of this, so you still have writing. You don't want to glue it all, you don't have to glue it all the way around. Now you could, I mean, I guess that's the thing. I could either put the double-sided sticky tape here and it would just accordion like everything else. You could completely glue it down, so you're only opening the pocket, which we figured if you did it right, you could use almost like 2 pockets, right? Front and back, using this sort of as a divider. You could only glue the sides, so you have a 3rd pocket back here. So there's a lot of ways to go about it. So maybe that's why I'll leave it open. I will not attach it to a piece of paper. I will let you decide how you want to put it in your journal. But the goal is to fold it up instead of over the top or around, or wrap it around the page. We're going to come up from the bottom and make it a pocket in that sense. So I won't do anything to the back side of this. I'm going to leave it be. But this is our base. I do everything sideways. This is funny. Okay, so this is our first main layer. It is as is, nothing bad, nothing good. It's all done up. A little loose here and there, I noticed, but that's to be expected. At least I had a chance to really dry it too. Oh, pressure, heat. Okay, took that out, and I was like, maybe not. I figured it got warm this afternoon in the garage, so it might be a little warm. Everything's going to be a little temperamental tonight, but we'll use it, and then I'll take it in tonight and let it cool off, and it'll be good for the next round I'm doing. So I hope you're all doing very, very well. If you're new to the shops, or not the shop, there's that too, but if you're new to the show here, new to my YouTube channel, thank you so much for watching, liking. Hopefully you'll comment, and you will hit that notifications. You'll subscribe so that you don't miss out on when I'm able to do a video. I'm trying for once or twice a week videos and a number of shorts throughout the week to keep the juices flowing. But with running a shop, sometimes it's easier said than done. Okay, so here's the fun part. One, before I do anything else, we do need to get that tab covered up. So we found out last time that there was room here. So this is long enough. It has an edge, so I sort of like the idea of it being jagged, and we can let it sort of sit up a little bit. Just a little. We'll ink it, and then we'll perfectly cut around the outside edges, I think, so that it's a nice clean cover, and it helps. I never did change that out. We're going to use it to the last drop today. We can, have a nice clean cut around the edge top, and it'll sort of strengthen up the, our top part of our thing. But hopefully you're all doing really well. Like I said, thank you so much for coming along if you're new. If you've been around, yay, thank you still again for coming back and watching me figure this process out and hopefully creating a cute piece. I guess this will be a few parts because it'll be the creation of it, and then we have to figure out how to fill it. I realize it needs ephemera that sort of still fits. Either it's neutral ephemera that lets the pocket sort of be the center, the focus of this whole thing, or pieces that would look good in it. So I don't know. That's going to be a whole nother series of videos of trying to figure out. Well, it does crinkle a little bit, doesn't it? It's figuring out how to fill these pockets. I don't know. I don't know whether to fill it and make it a full ephemera, like ephemera holder, like, fully. That was the thing. It's not just stackable, but I think it's a stocked. It's a filled ephemera piece. So that's going to take it a little longer if I have to sit here and fill it all. Not that I have a problem with that. I just was like, oh, how do I fill it? You'll have to tell me if you guys would like to see more like neutral with just a little hints of the colors involved. Would you want to see a really like neutral, so the ephemera piece really sticks out on its own accord, or would you want like pieces that blended in and worked with it? Because I do have more papers. We have edges of these things. We have more pieces. There's always something. So there we go. We have a little tab now to help reinforce. Now this isn't, and the thing is, this isn't all going to need to be taped from top to bottom. We're only going to tape down what fits. All right, so if this is the ordeal. Now the other thing is to keep in mind is that when we put this all back down, this is what we have to keep checking, is that this is up high enough above the fold line, right? so that then this, hold on to that, this has an angle that I feel content with, I guess, is the whole thing. We not only need to have it not crease up against the fold too much, but not sticking out here too far either. I feel like there should be a little bit of both. And then, yeah, this is going to get moving. But that looks like I'm okay with that point of reference. Okay, so we're just going to keep adding paper. So, what I want to do on the back side here, with a pen, so lightly, is try to figure out how far up I need that text to go. What's the word? Tape. That's what I'm looking for. See if that worked. Yes, just barely. Okay. So I don't get too much tape up, and then it's up here, and then it's going to stick to the wrong thing. So this is definitely not a tutorial in any sense. This is a go as I go by the seat of my pants. I know the basic concept. I know the basic everything, but we are going to sort of just, see what works and what doesn't. Okay. So we're going to go about middle, of course. Even though this is going to be an angle, we want middle of the... We do want middle of the bag, I would think, because that's where your structure is, right? About middle, so that just sticks to everything. Middle of your bag, because when we go to pull from it, the accordion only works. The accordion effect, file folder accordion effect, only works when it's in the middle of your page. Okay. So let's hope, right? So I guess that's my other guideline too, is I will know how far to put it if I can see what's behind it, right? That's how I know where I'm supposed to be, is if I can feel the sticker in the back and it needs to sort of line up. I'm kicking it out this way a little bit more than I would expected, because I can't go too much of an angle the other way. I am building it probably with in mind of it being on a right-hand side of your journal pages, right? So if you had your folded page in your signature, I am building it with it in mind that your fold is on the left-hand side. Doesn't mean you couldn't flip it around, but I am building it that way. So it would be a right side page insert. You wouldn't be able to put it on the other side because this would be sticking into the crevice of your ordeal. So we're going to put the weight on the right side. Whether it's whether the page is flipped over and you open it up and it's on the right, and this is always going to be on the outside no matter what we do. However you want to look at it. Okay, so let me see. I guess that's the other thing. It's about there, right? So we're going to do a little bit of cheating here because I am not in the mood to guess at this too much. I'm going to mark it because I can always lightly erase it where I need it to be. So I put little marks here. Of course, I'm off the camera too. I put little marks here where my side should be, and that should help keep the tape also inside that. Because I am not going to keep guessing at it and then kick myself when things don't continue to line up the way I want them to. Alright, so we're going to line those up, and I will go a smidge over and a smidge below, so I don't really have to see the lines, but I will erase them. When I go a little bit below, then I have a good chance of not having... Oh, look, that worked beautifully. But see, it's grabbing it, but it's sticking right here. Yay! Alright. One down, one to go. And this is not a good eraser, so that will not be happening. This is a glue eraser. That won't do me any good. Here we go. I'll just sort of get in there and make sure this is right about middle. So, of course, I'll make sure next time to put that a little more to the side so I can get in there. Okay, so now, when I go to open this, if it's on a page, it's going to pull away. See, we're getting our accordion is starting to happen. But it's going to happen in angles, so it won't be a direct once off, which is fine. Okay, next page. Next piece. Alright, here we go. This is going to be the fun part. Okay. This one now needs its lace. So here I did take my seam ripper, got a majority of the pink stuff off of its pink lace, or pink thread off. I'm just gluing him. And so we're going to do a few things here. We want the lace up here to sort of make up the difference of our... That'll be trim for something later, or decor. And that's all. It's the whitest one I had, and we definitely want it to overlap and sort of glue down to be reinforced. My only thought now is to make, because we're not keeping this hole, and this is ripped, I'm wondering if I need to put a little bit of coffee dyed somewhere. Which I have. I know I have. Not the pieces I want to, but let's see if we can find. I have some tea-dyed crinkled paper. I always have some bits and pieces left over everywhere, somewhere, nowhere. Ah! Tissue. That stuff everywhere. The cards. I think I even have some cards. I don't get too thick, but I am trying to hold lace, so maybe it's not a bad thing. It's a little light, but with the lace on top, yeah, I probably should keep. I don't know. I don't know now that I think about it. I mean, I have more. I have more paper. I'm like, wait, I have more brown paper, packing paper, which is the same material. So I could do it that way. That way it's, I just want a little something to reinforce the fact that this is not, as, not as solid, because we couldn't get the paper all the way up. I could not, I couldn't take care of some of that ripped stuff. So we are today just, you know, fine-tuning and tweaking and reinforcing all of this. There we go. We'll press that down. I know there's, you know, like I said, since we aren't doing the hole here, I don't think there's really going to be thumb notches in any of it. Since it is an accordion, it should sort of open up for us so you can reach in and grab your stuff and not need that thumb hole to desperately pull things out. So I could go a little bit above it to give it some, yeah, like that. There is some lines in this one, which I believe this is the one we have in the shop. There's a little bit of a border here, and then the floral, whatever, mix in the middle. So we're going to have this border stick up a little bit, and this border is going to line up with the green. Plus, those make it a lot easier to sew down all of that lace when I don't have that hole going into the backside. Okay, come on. Yeah, I got air in here. This is going to be fun. Let's get the air out of it. Otherwise, I'm going to have problems all afternoon, which I do not want to do, or all afternoon, all evening. It is, I think around 7 o'clock our time, which is about the time I've been putting these videos up. Noticing things are getting bombarded at midnight again, and so every once in a while, if I'm not paying attention or whatever, I'll put up a midnight video, but figured from some of our East Coast side, you guys could get videos a little sooner. So, but anyway, whether you watch it tonight or whether you watch it tomorrow morning, whatever works for you. But I thought we'd give it a shot. Oh, I didn't cut it yet. Oh, well, we'll just put it down and then I'll cut it where I need it. How's that? And well, that works too. I don't want too far over. I want to make sure that's nicely still within the confines of what we need. I will have to use that glue eraser for sure. Gotta get the right scissors. Oh my goodness gracious, I have like 3 scissors now. I have one that's more like for itty bitty fussy cutting, and I have, which is this guy. Or small things, you know. I've got the texture, whatever. And really, yeah, I could totally just go back in here, and I still have a cute little loop here. So if I wanted to, I could always do something with the top of this. But I didn't want to undo the whole thing. I thought, wait a minute. I don't need to undo all of it. Get my little... I don't know, but yeah, it does work when it's still somewhat damp. I was like, wait, get my glue eraser here, get that fuzzy... I mean, it's shiny, and it says, well, I guess Fabric Tack doesn't have to dry. It dries clear, but it still has a gloss to it. And so you can see it at times. Plus, it's just like it's all gummed up, so it's just easier to get it off everything if you just sort of use your glue eraser. Which these were great to find, and I'm glad I can keep finding them. Okay. So there's that. Like we did with everything else, I think we're just going to add a little bit of distress to it. A little bit of ink to give it some change. Okay, now like we are doing, we are keeping some things, 3 of these things, perfectly upright. Now this did end up at more of an angle than I expected. So when I was going to put this down, originally this little guy still stuck out over here. And no, it doesn't, and that's okay. I can almost just line up those corners and keep this level. And that's okay too. I'm okay with that. I'm alright with that. Now this one can go all the way to the top, because I believe, yeah, it's going to come up just shy of the top of this. So we'll just cut it a little short, but we don't have to do too much. So I'm hoping as we go along, I'm getting the top portions, the header, the toppers of each bag if we need it, done before we glue it down. So we put the next layer down. I'm not going, oh, I have to get back in there and try to get something in there. Because this way, when this one opens up, it sort of pops this one open. So yeah, we don't really need thumb notches on these. I guess if something got to a point where I felt like I had a really big hole, we could try to go in with a tiny, look at my smallest circle and make a little something. But I'm hoping you guys had a good week. I hope that you got lots of creativity, a lot of creative stuff done. This will be the last one. I think, like I said, we'll do it the wider one just because it is hardier, and I keep doing that, I go way too far. We are trying to, making sure it's nice and tight. But after that, we're getting to smaller pieces. I might do this with the smaller glassine, and that's it. After that, we have much smaller bags, and so I don't think I need to, doing okay, read camera? Yeah. So all I'm doing is, making sure I'm sort of stayed inside. Again, if I do it here, line it up, I want this one, and the little guy perfectly lined up. Everything else is going to be askewed. Skewed. And if I can feel the tape back there, and it's definitely below that. Okay, I'm just sort of feeling the backside to make sure I can't feel the tape. And, okay. So eyeballing it, I am going to line those two corners up. Wasn't the original intention, but that's okay. I mean, that's what it is, right? Now, at any point, if you got this and it was bugging you, you could glue these edges down. You could glue this down, this underside to the bag. You could glue this down to the bag. Even just gluing this one down would sort of help, like close off the bottom if you felt it just needed to be. You're just like, nope, that just didn't work for me. Let's see now, we lifted it up. So now we pull this one. Depending how that was glued down, that definitely opens really well. This one opens a little less. Each one I think is going to open a little less each time. But this one we definitely left it to where you can put a nice little hardy, there we go. Long journal tag in this one, large journal card in this one. Where I'm thinking, vintage document pages that you can write on the back of into this one. But I'm really thinking, I'm wondering if this one definitely needs to be fully glued down to really withstand everything that's going on here, right? Because that is a big deal. I'm almost wondering if it needs to have that same effect as this one, where we are gluing down the backside. I don't know. I'd have to stock it and see. Once I filled it up, if I thought it was too rickety, we may want to do stuff or heavily suggest, how you guys would want to glue that into your paper. Of course, when you guys get it, you guys can do what you feel works best, but I try to leave enough room to maneuver, right? Okay, make sure we're staying in focus, but staying on our pad. All right, and I work, I'm left-handed, so everything's to this. I'm not completely upside down. I had friends growing up that literally they were left-handed, and they wrote upside down. I can't even imagine. Ow. I never could. Luckily, I can hold the pen the same way most right-hand people would, and pretty upright. Sometimes a slight angle, but I said we turn our paper a little bit so I can do this, but because we don't, I know, because right hand, I guess you're writing away from you. You can keep it more upright, but since we're writing and putting our hands over where we, wrote, we write at a slight angle to maybe keep it from being not so obvious. So, okay. Anyway, side note. All right, so I want to definitely go here. And we want to go here. Again, keeping it in there. This one is definitely going to go about here in the same spot. So it's just keeping everything else. So this one may not go up as high. This one either isn't as wonky and this one is really wonky. Which maybe it's like this one is, we meet this corner down here. And we tuck this up a little bit under that corner. Ooh, I start seeing a pattern here. Hold on. So we could do it to where this corner and this corner meet. This one meets this corner, but is flat on the bottom. So you see a little bit of this. And then that did sort of take away a little bit from this because I think I didn't have that so showing as much. But it allows us to decorate up here though, where I could cluster something behind it. Except for besides what's clustered here. Because I know we had it, I think, a little less I didn't have that as cocked. You could see that on both sides, and then this was just right up and down. So I just want to make sure that they're not all, I don't want everything at the same angle. So like this is almost too parallel for me personally. If we're going to stack it, let's have fun stacking it. So I either turn this a little bit more inward, and maybe we'll have a line up here, and then this one doesn't have to be as much. This one's definitely in the middle. Right, this is where I'm like, every time we put it down, something shifts, right? We never know until we put the next one down. But I do like the idea of where this one is. So, carefully, make the tiny little notches I can hopefully erase. Okay, that's the best way I'm going to be able to do that. Because really, it's a guess. It's such a guessing game otherwise. You put it back on and you're like, no, that's not what I wanted. And this one can actually, this one I could glue all the way up, literally follow the line and hope that it sticks to the lace. So that when you go to pull it open, this stays back, this flap stays back. But we do need something up here. And I didn't have a lot of extras. Did I have any blue left over? No, I think we used almost the whole thing of blue. I don't know if I want to do green up there when I just had it. I got red on top of it, and I could put the red behind it. Which I have, how many red? I don't want to do another lace. I want to make sure that it's the last one, and I feel it needs to have something, but I don't know if having the red dots up here. With the red, we have a lot of red. I'm like, oh gosh, I don't know. But I don't know if green is the right color either, because we just did the green. And do I want to really throw a whole nother... Do we put the green up here when we know that it's here, but we have the red sitting on top of it, so... I think I could get away with it. I think. I just don't know if I want to add, or I make it all one. Maybe we don't even worry about trying to add that in when I can just make it a continuous feel. And add a little lace. Maybe we'll do a little bit of both. Maybe we'll have a little bit of the same pattern, but we also have a little bit of lace running through it. So it's not this, but it's not that either. Let's see. We have any, or I can put strips through it. Oh, let's see. We got teal. Yeah, I have little teal strips. Unless we do the green and I put some blue and red. I could do. Sorry, guys. Well. This is part of decorating, right? Maybe put that strip on the top. I mean, to reduce the green so it's not as much. So a little bit of everything. Well, I could do that. Maybe we can do that. Well, maybe that'll work. I want a smaller strip of teal. It doesn't have to be that big. Ingot, just sort of run it through. Yeah, let's do that. Put a little bit of everything on there, but it's not any one thing. Because, yeah, it's definitely before we glue anything else down, it's just easier to do this if it's all ready to go. A little bit of our... Oh, it's going to dry. I'm like, I want the flower, but I want a little bit of the... Luckily the flower's near the middle, so in case I have to trim anything off. But that just about fits across the top, so we might be okay. Alright. Let me definitely get that. Oh, there's some white in here. Ugh. Definitely some white. Not that there isn't white. I mean, we have white in the dots. I get that. I think a while back, when did I ask last? I think I asked her for TV shows if anybody had anything, but I don't think I heard from anybody. I guess it's good that you guys are all crafting, not watching TV. I don't want to be watching TV. Though at the end of the night, I'm like, Alright, this is going to be a weird... I need it all the way over. Like we did before, so I think we're just going to glue it down and we're going to go for it. I'm going to try not to make bigger messes. Oh. Well, no, that would bring in something else, and that's a whole nother floral. I saw these floral strips I had made over here. But I think that's... this is definitely more little detailed, and I have these sunflowers that would be out of nowhere. I think they would be too, unless we use that and put that on top of it. Break it up and make it very different. Neutral. But then I think we have cream on top of, yeah, no, sorry, that's me. Never mind. Good idea, but I think we can always use it elsewhere. Okay, let's do some glue. Glue, and more glue. Anyway, yeah, I was looking for a TV show. There's times at night I need to wind down. I've been doing the business or the kids or adulting, and it could be 10 or 11 o'clock at night, and I really don't care. I just, now that I have a TV in my room, much bigger TV in my room, I feel like I don't want to go smack in the middle. There's that dot. There's times I just need to unwind. I need to forget, and as much as I probably should be reading a book instead, I really should be. I do just want to go to sleep too. I just want to lay there and go to sleep and not maybe exactly worry about what I was reading. I don't know. And there's nights where I finally get a break and I do want to sit and watch a series of something. So I need those things too, which I did start Killing Eve. I don't know where it was originally. I know it's saying it's new to Netflix. I don't know where it was originally. It's Sandra Ho. Hate to say that. Oh, she was Grey's Anatomy for the longest time. She was Meredith Person. She left that a while ago, and so I think she went. This is one of the many things she went and did, and about 4 seasons deep. I don't know when the date is or when it ended last. I have no idea if it's still going or it could be done. That's why it's on Netflix. It's probably done. Sometimes once the series is done and it's not being aired anymore, then Netflix has the right to get access to it and do whatever. Sorry if you guys heard that helicopter. It's not too bad. Usually in the middle of the night it comes over not low and slow, low and fast. Oh God, it draws what out of you in the middle of the night. We're in the path of the helicopter, so to the hospital, and usually people are coming out. There's been an accident or whatever, and they're grabbing them at the hospital or nearby school, depending on where the accident was, and they're trying to get them out of here. They're going to helicopter them to one of our 2 nearby towns that have bigger hospitals. So anyway, so I restarted, I guess. I started Killing Eve a while back, probably a season or 2 in, and got distracted. I think too much was going on. And so I didn't get very far into it. I watched the first season, the first episode or 2. I think that's as far as I got. I wasn't even sure. So, things have changed. So, a little bit better. I'm going to try to glue this in between the 2 dot-ish areas. I want those dots, but I don't think I want all the dots. Move it over. There we go. So I did start that last night. I got 2 or 3 episodes in. I was like, okay, I can watch this. This is good. I was like, that works for me. There's another one, but I cannot think of the name of it to save my life. I'll go look it up. That one I did get some episodes into, but I think it's just where I was at the time that I was like, not really what I want to be watching. It sort of bounced back and forth between when they were first starting their careers and where they are now, and it's like, okay, I don't know. I don't remember. I know it in my head. It has Blondie, also from Grey's Anatomy. Isn't that funny? What is her name? Anyway, okay. So yeah, I'm sort of starting some new series just to keep myself going, but other options, and then the girls are finding that we need new things to watch. We've sort of gotten the habit of, we're getting better, I think, with the weather. It's going to be better where we go outside and we're going to watch, have dinner together and then decide whether to watch something in the evening or do something else. But during the winter, we were watching TV at the table a lot. At the couch a lot, watching series and things that we hadn't caught up on, or just trying to find things to break the habits. To where now it's a little bit more comfortable to sit at the table without him and not be so this is weird. Though it was something that he was only Saturday night, Saturday or Friday or Saturday night, TV at dinner and a movie type thing with us. But those last weeks that he was around, there was a lot of that. And so at first we kept going, and then the girls were sort of, I think, getting to a point where okay, we can sort of do this without that, and we can have dinner and not feel like we have to be the TV, or just depends. And we're all busy. It's quick dinner and at the table, and away we go. So I like that. I mean, it's a little much, and I definitely feel like we're going to need to put, you know, we need to do a little decoring, maybe to connect these two, some decor here. We'll put some decor here, sort of tie it all together. So a little unusual. Maybe not exactly what I was hoping for, but I think with everything on top of it, it'll work. Okay, so now we're going to change to the smaller double-sided tape. This is a great way to get, yeah, that accordion feel for any number of things. You can do it for file folders. If you want to make it a storage unit, you can do it with, you know, bags and cards and all kinds of things. So what I don't know, which I didn't check, is that does this go all the way? Yes, okay, can go all the way up. Or darn close. Darn close to help make it a little better. Okay, so get to see some decoring at the top, getting another layer down, and getting our bags, you know, put together here. Did I do it? I did it. And there's no thing showing. Woohoo! All right. It is weird. It's sort of bugging, but it gives you that 3D. Like you're feeling, you get to see the layers, the feel, the move. Get to hear all that yumminess. My little frizzy things there. So now, I'm going to open this up. This was in place. See? Some open better than others, right? This doesn't open up as far. It's definitely narrower because we didn't leave this the same as we left this. I almost want to completely bring it down, but then it makes it very tight. That means I can barely open it. And that one has open. So that will be probably person's preference on how tight or how loose you want your accordion to work. Give me 1 second. I need a little bit of water. Okay. Sorry. I need to rearrange here. Okay. On to the onward and upward. Okay. So we're getting there. So this one, we were thinking did match up with that one, or is that too high? That's too high. These two were a little straighter, a little wider. I think originally that was going to be, that's really high though, and I don't know if I want that. I want that space up there. I don't want too much there. I could hide those. Let's see, we want right about there. That one and that one, not quite the same angle, and that one. So yep, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna start marking stuff because I have a feeling if I don't start figuring out how to get some ideas going on where I can erase it, it's gonna be a problem. I'm like, we're gonna miss this out. So this one, I had a little gap here. And I said I had one up here. Gotta make sure I can sort of see my marks because it's on green. It's gonna be really hard. Okay. There's that one. There is those two. That's in place. And then this one has its two. Okay. I'm liking. Oh, thank God. Okay. I gotta remember that I put this one down. Then I gotta put this down and not mark and mess that up. Okay, we want to make sure it's also not upside down. Ta-da! Our cute little pocket. Now if I really wanted to, if I wanted to change it up and I wanted to see more yellow, I could put the thumb notch in here. Maybe one of the few. And I want to decorate up here. So thumb notch this one. And we don't really have any, but we're getting to smaller things where it may be more beneficial to have some of those thumb notches. This one's tighter than this one. This one feels like it could open up better when this one is a little tighter. It's definitely stiffer. So we'll put the hole punch in this one. How's that? Ah. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, I'm not super chatty. I am trying to get things done today. Or tonight. I want to work on this, and I want to show you, and I want to work on it with you, and I was like in the mood and the groove, but it's still not quite as funly decorating. I mean, it's not, it's layers, it's adding the next layer, it's getting it where we want it to go. Okay, so we won't make it a huge punch. I just want enough to sort of... Aha, yeah, I like that. Okay, that's just a little. Get... now I hear the sirens, which is sort of weird. I'm like, okay, now what? Alright. Okay. I'm not using that one. Okay, so now, again, making sure at the angle, we want to make sure it goes right down here, and so it does grab this and this, so when it opens, it pulls everything maybe with it. Oh, but that may mean if I do that, then that's going to keep this one from opening. So we only want this to go up as far as this bag. We do not want it to go beyond that bag. Ooh, that is not very far up. That is all that would get covered. Because each one wouldn't pull from the next. So if I go to open this one out and this one's glued all the way down, it's going to stop it from being openable, like accordion. So we're going to do this a little backwards. Because I have a feeling. I have the sticky side up right now so that I can see about... That one might be a little different than we expected. Backwards, upside down, and all that in between. I'm going to do this at a slightly different angle because I can't cut it that way because it's... No, yes I can. I was like, wait, that's not going to work. Yes, it is. If we match it to the same angle that I just cut it, about middle, I hope. Yes. Backwards, upside down, and maybe so. Alright, let's see if this worked. Ugh. Line them up with my marks, which I can barely see, which is okay. And let's see if this worked. Otherwise, yes, I'll be going to start gluing things down and we will be losing our accordion feel real fast. Alright, so now, yep, if I open this up, this is not hindered, it's not glued to here. But, you know what it does do? It makes it sort of a hidden tuck, guys. We have a hidden tuck in here that we didn't expect. So we could tuck, instead of decorating maybe up here, we could tuck almost one more thing in here, like a nice skinny bookmarky type journal card could go right here instead of like in something decorated that could fit in here than say trying to decorate this corner. Wasn't that fun? Okay. I love when unseen potential shows up. Woohoo! Okay, but I'm glad I caught that because yeah, I would have glued that down and we would have been able to open this up and we would have lost some of that accordion look. That fold open to fold open to fold open feel. So alright, so here we go. That's, I'm gonna hold that down a little bit, but see, here we go. See, I gotta pull this one, and they all open nicely. And you guys can reach in and get your goodies out. Now, we need to glue this one down, and this down. Or I'm going to glue this down, right, where we need it, and then see if how much of this I need to glue underneath. Which might be the better bet. Yeah, let's do it that way. Then I can decide how much of this to glue to this and this accordingly. Because I don't really want to tuck anything here. We want to glue this down a little bit. That, yeah, maybe at least glue this to here. And this to this one so that it does not. Yeah, can't glue the doily to this, but we can glue the doilies to the pages behind it. And it keeps it from going anywhere. Okay. This one doesn't have any real... Oh god, here we go again. I wonder. I keep doing these the other guys and didn't think about how it would affect the next pull. Right? Again, if I glue it too far up, here we go again. This would pull open and it's not going to do what we want it to do. Yeah, this all definitely needs to stay together. Like this top section almost needed to be its own thing and then glued accordingly. Didn't really think about that, did I? Okay, let's see if we can do this a second time. So let's see if I can do the same thing we did before at the correct angle And that's how I know to put it back where it needs to go. I match up the angle of how I cut it will tell me about middle where to put it, even though it's going to be at an odd angle, I know. But when I flip it back over and line it up, right, that glue, hopefully that glue stick, yeah, see it's stopping just about here, and I can just feel it under my fingers that it's lining up with that. So my weird concoction, I think, is working for the most part. Oh yeah, no, it stayed in here. Okay. Who knew, right? So, shoot. No, hold on. Let me think. This does need to be glued to here, though. And this is going to here. So this is getting stuck to the paper that is getting stuck to this. So I don't know if all this excess is good. I'm wondering if I need to cut my doily off. And I can always glue it separately underneath afterwards to make it look like it goes all the way through, but it actually doesn't interfere with my effect. This is what I normally don't do. I normally don't think my way through this until after the fact. I do this with planners, I do this with a lot of things, and then I kick myself. Because if I do this right, glue this down, then I would glue this to this paper, but I need it to split so it doesn't actually interfere. Ta-da, right? So, let's get you somewhat glued down. I'm not going to go all the way to the edges, though. I am just doing the middle section where it means the most. Little bit out here into my solid circly areas, but I do want it sort of loosey-goosey and fun. But I need enough glue that when I go to pull on this, it does not come up. Okay. Glue everywhere. Okay. Yeah. Paper. Oh. Alright, so we will tuck that in once we know exactly where I want it to make it look like it's as a whole, but in reality is not in the way. I know, no real concoction. My brain, my thought, my rambling. So yeah, you see as you're trying to eyeball it, do it, turn it, twist it. Make yourself little marks that you can just hide, where you can get underneath it, like erase later. I can get into here because we're not gluing it perfectly down. We're just going down the middle. I can totally get in here and erase my line, and enough of my line that you can't see it. And you just, Alright, so did I do okay? Oh, I did, I think. I'm looking underneath. Yeah, it almost lines up beautifully with the yellow one. So we are still in that ballpark. If I pull the outer one, everything continues to pull out with it. So we definitely now want to just glue this guy underneath because it's not in the way. I can do one of two things. I can glue it to the back of this, or I can glue it to the page. I'm in the paper, like the pocket behind it, and you get the peel, or I do it to here, and it just comes out with it. I probably didn't need to. So yeah, glued this to here, but I needed to glue this to this. Well, that's okay. Either way, I didn't want to take a chance. This is getting in the way. Just whether, or I don't. Maybe this gets used elsewhere. Maybe we put this somewhere else. Maybe it's tucked up like here, or it's, I don't know. I feel like, yeah, I don't know where else it could go somewhere else. I just don't know where yet. It may just go on. It may go like that. It's sort of like that, actually. Though you do break up some of the teal that we have. So this is probably going to be a decorative piece. I like that we just have a little bit of it. It just sort of disappears into the void of the lines, and that's okay too. Alright, so then last but not least is our little guy. I did do a little bit of inking around the edges. Yes, okay. So this one's just going to get on top. Now, I was thinking, no, I wasn't thinking about that because that one opened up easier. Never mind. I was like, oh, the hole. No, yep, it was just the one. This way, everything has something different. This has some layers. This is sample. This is lace. This has doily on it with a hole punch. This is by itself right now, and then this will be down here, and it will get like lovely, massive amount of fussy cut decor on top. Alright, we're down to our last one, ladies and gentlemen. I have no idea how long it took me to get that far. I'll let you know in a moment, but let's get this done first. And this one can go right down the middle because it pretty much covers most of it. I think I'll come up short here on the bottom. I won't go all the way to the bottom because I believe it's off the thing when we do that, but I may glue it a different way. Okay. Because it doesn't go to the bottom here. Not that it couldn't. I mean, I guess I could go all the way to the bottom with it, but I can always just glue it too when I'm done. And I am doing it to where it's covering this corner. It's gonna be so cool. All right, last one. You start pulling. Definitely has, you know, and you could decide if you didn't want any more pockets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pockets was enough. You could completely, like I said, really glue this down and just put it on the page. Like, you could use double-sided sticky tape here on this flap and this flap, glue it together, you know, press it together, and just allow, you know, this to be your accordion. This to be your open up, right? This one's sort of tight, this one's sort of tight. That's okay. These are nice and easy to open to get into. I think you can totally get your, you know, your finger in here and opening these up. Oh, so fun. Now, of course, doing it this way, yes, you'd have to pick up your journal and look inside it to find your goodies to pull out. That's okay. I think more interactive your journals, I think sometimes the better, because sometimes we just don't want to look at pages and writing. We want to find, I think the more things we can find in a page, like all the things that are tucked in, the more in awe we are. I think it's one thing I absolutely adore and love about Lorette's work is that everything is sort of tucked inside of something else, and you just keep pulling things out, and it's, and they're also, each piece is also pretty. So, sort of want that feel. Okay. We did it. How long did it take me to do that this time? 52 minutes. So I will not get much farther with you guys. Darn it. Oh, I was really hoping. Anyway, so I pulled out this lovely green mesh because it does pull up some of the green here. If we wanted a layer of something, I pulled up all kinds of, I pulled up the waterfall dangle lace because we have some cream. So I think we're finally sold out of that at the moment. I'll have to restock it. This blue we're also out of. I just have little bits of it, but it was pretty. Like if I really wanted a floral something, cut it in half, as you saw Lorette do, add it behind something. Now this might be great on that piece that we are going to tuck and hide here, that long little piece that we just realized that we could tuck a little long journal card in. I think this lace on that would be really pretty, where all you saw was a little bit of blue. I think it'd be really pretty just to see a little blue popping out because it picks up the paler colors in the teal paper. So I think that's going to be great. This could be just something that, I never know which way that goes. I mean, it could be just the two with the fussy on here if we wanted that, you know, or upright. No one says it has to be, it's a waterfall, but it doesn't mean it has to stay that way. So this one's great because this one you can cut out so many things you can cut out or use it as a whole. I could see doing the bottom rounds since we have a lot of polka dots. We could do this border right here tucked up underneath here. See, that's another nice thing about not having things. We can tuck that up underneath there, so we got lace top and bottom. I like that idea. Oh. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we still have stuff to work on. I am nowhere near ready. We actually need to decorate these things some more. That's the wrong green. Well, yes and no. It pulls definitely from this green. Oh my gosh, it's gorgeous on that green. So maybe we need to put a little green up here, or green even up here. I think maybe we need a little blingy green way up here. I have my pearls. I have all my different, you know, all kinds of laces. So we're going to have to try to find edges and pieces and ways to decorate, you know, elements of these things where we have clear-cut areas. We definitely need to decorate, and I think the ephemera on the inside is going to be the big thing. We need to put journal cards and tags and papers or whatever in these guys. So in the end, if I'm going to do anything, I'll put some document copies, papers in here that you could, you know, fold in thirds, pull them out right on the back and tuck them back in. That's a great thing to use back here. Super easy. Got a large journal card, a really large journal card here. Tall but skinny tag here. We'll put a really skinny journal tag here. We'll put a skinny journal card, skinny journal cards, and then really little journal things that go in here. Maybe they're folded in half. Maybe they're just document tucks, type of thing. Little old cabinet card type things. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we didn't get much farther, but it is attached now. So now it's attached. Now it's all one. I really appreciate you coming along. Hopefully that wasn't too much boring. I wish we could have got that all done in one fell swoop last time, but I don't move fast enough. And even tonight, apparently was thinking more than I was talking, and even then didn't get much done. But it is finished. We've got the little details. We have it attached. It is in the process. I do see potential. So I don't know how much I'll do with you. I hope you guys will come back one more time. Maybe this weekend I'll get it more prepped. And we will just try to decorate this up, and then, we'll do a whole nother thing next week with any kind of ephemera that I want to work on that will go in this, but you won't see so much of this so much. But anything fussy cuts or things like that, I will make sure to get done. And the pieces that I think we need, and we'll just sort of lay it out, get it together, maybe make that one journal card in here so it's sort of a decorative piece, and go from there. So if it works, I'll hopefully see you this weekend. If not, have a wonderful weekend. Beautiful weather, I hope. And we'll see you guys all on the flip side. Talk to you all later. Bye-bye.